Now, you worked with Meatloaf, and didn't he have something to do with you designing the loggers, the show?
I was right. I wrote the second act of the Lager then, and everybody asks what you're doing. I got this play I'm going to do. I don't know what to do. I don't have, so Meat was going, he was a cigar smoker. It's not where I got it from, but he said, well, when I start, what you do is you find a place up there, the Rusty Nail and Stove. And if you know a guy, tell him that you'll do the show there, and you want a certain amount of money down and part of the door. So that was that. He helped me with that. And then I love Merle Haggard, and Meatloaf's driver was this woman who had dated Merle Haggard. She bragged about that. I love Merle Haggard. Patrick Swayze's stand-in was this ex-Marine named Scott. He's a Southern guy. He's a more outgoing guy. So she said, why don't you come to the show? Merle was playing up the road, in Georgia. We shot that. And I'll let you meet Merle. I'll get you to meet. I'm like, so Scott was like, yeah, we'll go. So we did. She comes to us after the show. Their buses are parked face to face the way they do. She says, well, we can get you to see, I'm going to see Merle, but we're going to sit you on this bus for a while first. I sit on that bus. Who's on that bus? Rena, these names won't mean anything to you till I explain it. Bonnie Owen was Merle's backup singer. I listened to her harmonies since I was 15, 16, 18, driving dump truck. Bonnie Owen was married to Merle Haggard at one point in her life. Bonnie Owen was married to Buck Owens at one point. And Bonnie Owen at that present was married to Fuzzy Owen, who was Merle Haggard's producer, who was on the bus too. So you go on the bus, Bonnie Owen and Fuzzy Owen, they're all over the road. So they're nice as shit. So what do you do? I'm an actor. I'm doing a play, and I'm going to do it around, and I don't know what I can do. I'm just trying. It's going to be funny. It's about fun. And Fuzzy was like, own it. Don't give any of it away. You keep it yourself. He was a producer. So I got that information from him too. And then, by the way, at the end of that, we were on that bus. So to me, sitting with Fuzzy Owen, who produced the Beatles, some real famous guy. They always talk. George Martin. It's like it's like a Beatles fan sitting with George Martin. And then we went off the bus, and I got to meet Merle, but he didn't give me any advice. He was nice though. So all these stories are true, man. It's all that's how I did.
Wow, that's amazing. Because I mean, you're just a harder worker than I am. Because I wanted a lot of the same things you did, and I just didn't do the work like that.
But remember, you're a filmmaker.
Yeah.
And a musician in a band. Lightning struck in a bottle. I'm a guy. I'm fucking Mark Twain. I'm one dude standing there. You got to plug amps in. You got to rent cameras. And how many filmmakers are there just in Vermont?
Yeah.
Let alone the United States. And if the goddamn United States, there ain't nobody doing, so I'm not just, trying to say, yeah, but no, it's a different thing. It's a different thing what I did. It was just the luck of the draw that what I liked to do was this thing that you could. And by the way, Rena, the product was good. The shows were good, and people went fucking nuts. It hit a nerve. It was playing. It was speaking in deference to the native Vermonter. And when I was in that play, Judavine, doing the shows with Vermont Rep, I saw that the native Vermonter liked to see that. They liked to see themselves. That's not why I wrote that. I wrote that because I was a kid. After school, I did the logging and the concrete, and I was attracted to the working class person more than, I'm not doing a show called The Doctor, though I think doctors are great, men and women alike. But so, yeah, it hit a nerve. I mean, I do 2 or 3 graduation speeches a year, didn't do one this year, but yeah.
So it sounds like you just really found your niche, right? Like that. It just so happened that, like, whereas like Jason with you, like what Rusty was saying, you have a lot more competition because it's not such a narrow focus.
Thanks, guys.
Well, hey, making films, let's face it, making films, you're a freelance writer, Rena. I mean, to sell that is like, you never see that movie Free Solo with that Alex Humboldt climbing up the rock face? without any ropes. It's like
Oh,
climbing up
yeah.
fucking El Capitan with no ropes, man. It's
Yeah.
almost impossible. And now it's even, you know,
Oh, yeah.
more difficult. It's easier because you could be 16, make a whole film on your
Yeah.
phone, and it could be good. But okay, now what?
Yeah. Now you have to give
With
it away
my
for
thing-
free.
With my thing, I call up the town hall, I rent the theater, I put up the posters, everybody knows me, blah, 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 you know, and they come, especially then because there wasn't that much going on.
Yeah. Now, when you went around New England, do you change your act depending on if you're in like Maine or New Hampshire, or do you just like, or at all, or?
No, because it's just a Vermont guy who, you know, translate. You know, that's one thing people say, well, people from out of state don't like it. They've said that for years. Well, that's not true because I'll do banquets and it'll be the real estate, the top, you know, real estate people from the East Coast, Maryland, Virginia, all the way up at the Sheridan. There's 150 of them. So those people from all over. I mean, kind of funny's funny. There are a few things. If I'm talking about deer jacking, Jason, I could put a couple other words in there that explains that. But for the most part, it's just human stuff. I mean, I've done it in front of people from Alaska, you know, and diverse social backgrounds. You know, it's not just all the certain type of person, but they laugh.